All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Draft Labs Rift Tournament Series preseason. Game number 1. Actually, this is match number 1 ever of our preseason, you guys. And we have Team Victus facing off against... Oh, geez, I've even forgotten here. It's, is it Mystery? Is it Mystery of the Wild Dance? No, Melody, excuse me. These guys just just registered today, and they do have a very beautiful name, but it's a tough one to remember. Melody of the Wild Dance on Red Team. We'll most likely just call them Melody when it comes down to it. Both teams going for some pretty standard starts here, just kind of like a split, you could say. I would call this like either a spread or a split. Nothing too incredibly unique here. A couple of wards being dropped. Very defensive wards. You can see neither of these wards ever really go past this line of scrimmage. And one of the things that I like to point out during the games, you guys, is the line of scrimmage of the game. You can always tell by where the wards are, kind of where each team, what zone, how much of the map each team controls. If the wards were to kind of encroach into red team's base, then you could say red team has pushed forward the line of scrimmage. Whereas if it seems for red team, if they push into blue team's side, then blue team has pushed forward their line of scrimmage. So we're going to be going over that a couple of times throughout the match. And since things are going a little bit more slowly in this early game than they have before, what I'd like to do is take you guys through some of the cool overlays that we have. Now, as you can see on the overlay right now, we do have an enlarged mini-map. The reason for this is because I don't think the mini-maps are big enough on the LCS, man, or on any professional League of Legends broadcast, man. The mini-maps are so small, especially if you watch them from your phone, you just can't see it. So I enlarged it, made it a little bit bigger on this standard screen here, and I also came up with another idea for you guys for an overlay. This one's called our split screen. This is a split screen right now. I took the mini-map and made it just absolutely gargantuan. We also have an enlarged scoreboard down there at the bottom, as well as a live feed of the match. Now we saw a leash coming in from blue side. They went for that early kind of speed start for the Gragas. He isn't necessarily the fastest clear in the early game, so getting that leash for him is fairly nice. Lisa not getting too much help on his side. And we also have an AFK, you guys. Jezzy. Not here. Where is Jezzy? Where you at, Jezzy? Now, you guys, unfortunately, I'm not doing the tournament draft mode this time around because once we go into our postseason, we'll most likely implement the tournament draft so teams can pause and things like that. But for the sake of time here in the preseason, we do not have the tournament draft mode in. There's Jezzy finally, but so these teams are unable to pause when they do have those DCs or those AFKs. Now, it looks like we will be seeing an initial level 2 push from in the bottom lane from blue side. The reason I say this is because they did have that 2 versus 2 advantage. They should have been able to at least should have been able to shove that wave forward, get that level 2 right off the bat. Now Asian Andy, he's gonna have a nice little level advantage, you could say, experience advantage, but with the this experience disadvantage of his support, it really evens out. Nice damage from Grey Fox. Just some trading going on the mid lane. You can see why Cho'Gath is such a nice mid laner right now. You wouldn't expect to see him there, but whoever came up with that idea was pretty clever, you could say. The sustain on that champion, the crowd control, and the wave clear are all great combinations, plus the bonus health you get. Nice pull from Unsung Support. It's going to force Jezzy into a little bit of damage. The Flay followed there as well, but Jezzy, I mean, he's Alistair. He should be able to heal that up, no problem, but a nice little trade there. We are seeing a gank in the mid lane from Lightning King. Grey Fox, he's actually moving forward, looking for a kill himself. Drops the Ignite, shield onto Masuna. He's taking lots of damage. Barrier drops as well, and the first blood goes to Melody of the Wild Dance. Now, I mentioned earlier that Lee Sin wasn't going to be able to gank that Cho'Gath, but if he moves that far forward, I mean, it was a good-looking little aggress there from Grey Fox, but maybe a little bit too over-aggressive. Did force a lot of the summoner spells away, and a lot of it did force a lot of things away from Red Team, but giving up his life for it, not necessarily worth at this point. Now, Sergeant Pepper, nice work, man. He's counter-jungling the enemy jungle. He finds Lightning King after the gank. He's got plenty of health, and Lightning King is in a tough situation. Forces him away. I'm not sure if he's stolen a buff or anything. We're also seeing some champions move in. We might see a little skirmish here. Lightning King, a possible bait. Alright, you guys, since things have slowed down a little bit, let's go ahead and swap it over into our split screen here. Let's see if there's any deep wardage going on right now. You do have one up on the top side from Victus right here. Not a bad ward. I mean, this ward is nice because you get to see if anybody's approaching the lane early. A lot of teams would prefer to have it placed about right here because you could actually see the people who are coming even earlier, but I don't think they were able to get quite that deep in order to throw that ward down. Nice stun there from Floopy. Nothing too crazy happening so far, you guys. So we are 5 minutes into the game. 1 kill in Melody of the Wild Dance's favor. And we're just kind of seeing a standard laning phase here. Now, Orianna, she is going to have that little item bonus, you could say, that little bit of a gold advantage, because she not only did she get the kill onto, I believe she got the kill. No, it was actually Lee Sin that got the kill. She got the assist and a little bit of extra gold there onto the Cho'Gath, but also was able to go back at the same time. She wasn't necessarily shoved into her wave and didn't have to stick around for too long. So Grey Fox was actually put behind a little bit, and you can see he's just going to leave the lane here. He knows he's going to get harassed out. This is safe play from a Cho'Gath, and it's something that he can do. Nice knockup from Jezzy on the BGZ, as he did spot him trying to back here. BGZ gonna get taken down fairly low. Unsung support also there to save his Heine. Jezzy doing a good bits of damage. There's an exhaust, 2 exhausts, and a teleport coming down the bottom side. This is a good teleport right behind the enemy members. FDS top, he comes down early. Jezzy is taken fairly low, but FDS top might not be able to get a kill before Ploopy makes his way back. Now the heal drops from BGZ. Ploopy looking for the kill. He finds it, but now he's taking a good bit of damage. FTF top. He's going to approach, drop his ignite. The shield comes down from Masuna, who's also made his way down to the bottom lane. Ploopy, will he fall? He does not. Somehow he stays alive. Lightning King also there to save his members, and that ends as a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Melody the Wild Dance. Surprisingly enough. That was a nice fight start there from Lucian and Thresh on the bottom side. They elongated that fight really well. They had the summoner spells they need, but the transition for Grey Fox and Masuna was actually, Masuna got down a good bit faster. So you could say that the good teleport, the nice early teleport down to the bottom side from FDS top on his Hecarim was actually countered out there, as he was not able to get a kill onto the Alistar quite quick enough by Masuna's good roam down the bottom, down to the bottom side. So well played by Melody. That's 2 kills to 0 now, and they got themselves a nice little 400 gold lead. Now, surprisingly enough, we're seeing that Cho'Gath actually has a level advantage over this Orianna. I'm actually fairly surprised on this. He hit the level 6 first, and it was most likely because he had the Consume. He was able to get down one of those jungle monsters. Another perk of the Cho'Gath mid, you guys, is able to go in and kind of play safe into the jungle, give himself a little bit of extra experience. That definitely negates the advantage that Masuna was given from that early first blood. Jezzy, he gets pulled in, and Flay does not get the knockups, though. And a good bit of damage being dropped here by Team Vayvictus bot lane, but not enough to scathe an Alistar, you guys. Lots of wardage near the dragon. Check out this wardage. Check out the wards near the dragon, you guys. I mean, this is, let's just do a little scan here. Check out this wardage, man. These guys really want to cover this this bottom side, because they know we're approaching the 10-minute mark, and they're going to want to make that transition. They may have expected to make that play down bot earlier, and you know, they may have expected to make that play down bot and then transition right into a dragon, but unfortunately they weren't quite able to do so. Blue buff transfer, fairly standard. Oh, they also have Vision Deep as well. I didn't even realize they had put a ward this deep here. It may have been Grey Fox, as Masuna ended up going down the bottom side. I assume Grey Fox kind of made his way into the enemy base, threw that one down. So they do have vision. They do know where Lightning King is, and you want to pay attention to where Gragas is moving based on where that Lee Sin is. Because Sergeant Pepper, he loves to play those aggressive jungler style, where he really wants to kind of skirmish out with the enemy jungler. He wants to kind of get in their way, if you know what I mean. There's a flash forward from Grey Fox right into Masuna. Pops the ignite. Masuna forced a barrier and shield away. That's a summoner spell for a summoner spell, you guys. He actually used his flash there as well. Masuna's still sitting on his, so surprising little aggress there from the Cho'Gath. It was good for him that he didn't end up using his consume, his nom noms or whatever the heck you want to call it, because. Oh, never mind, he did. He had used it a little bit earlier onto a minion, I assume. So I was going to say he might use it when he goes over to get that blue buff, but he just grabbed it with no problems there. Nothing too crazy happening at the moment, you guys. Game is moving fairly slow in the early phases. Very even so far. We are approaching that 10-minute mark. But now's when you really want to start keeping your eyes on that dragon pit, you guys. That's when you really want to start keeping your eyes on that pit, on that bottom side river. Because that's going to be the next objective here. Now, I don't know if what the small advantage with like maybe a little bit of extra gold on a couple of champions. Here's a combo. This might be a fight down here. Unsung support. He's actually put into a tough situation. He's forced to flash away. He kind of handed that one over to Jezzy, surprisingly enough. Alistar's a darn scary bot laner, but giving him that kill pressure and forcing, giving Alistar a kill pressure, Alistar Sivir, in that Alistar Sivir nonetheless. Giving them that kill pressure is a probably, I don't know. I guess I don't know too much about it. I was going to say it might not be the best showing, but Who knows? I'm not too certain about it. Now Ploopy's getting aggressed by these top laners and the jungler. He ends up getting the chilling smite, and FDF's top gets that kill. That was an easy one, man. He had plenty, he had everything he needed, and Sergeant Pepper was able to sneak his way up there. But there will be a counter. Sergeant Pepper probably should stick around up in the top side and try to take this tower down with his top laner, FDS top, but he's actually just going to transfer over and move right into the enemy jungle. He might try to steal a couple of things here. First dragon of the game goes to Melody of the Wild Dance, and that's a nice trade, man. One kill on the top laner and not even a tower. A tower isn't going to be taken by that for a dragon. Well played. Well played by Melody. I didn't even see that they were going to transition down into that dragon pit. But like I said, you guys, keep your eyes on it. Do as I say, not as I do. Holy moly, that red team comp. Can you say Wombo combo? I can say Wombo combo, man. But the question is, will we see Wombo combo? I'm not sure, man. Wombo combos are much more difficult to actually do. And you know what? This is like not necessarily like your Wombo combo type. There's a lot of Wombo combo potential here. But it isn't necessarily your Wombo combo type of comp like you see with the Scions and the Malphites and the Yasuos and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that doesn't really fit. This is a Wombo comp that actually fits the meta right now. So if we see them being able to make those Wombo combos happen and kind of throw down those really nice quick multi-kills with the combo of spells that they have, the AoE abilities, then that would actually be really impressive to me, because this is your modern style Wombo combo comp, and makes it that much more difficult considering you don't have those those true to heart Wombo combo champions, the Malphites, the Scions, the Yasuos, and all that kind of stuff. Now the Orianna, she's just a consistent champion in any competitive play. One of the most balanced champions in League of Legends, you could say. Ruh-roh, I didn't see this going on. Mid lane, both junglers showed up at the same exact time. I believe they were kind of fighting each other off a little bit before they even approached that mid lane, but nothing too crazy happening. Gragas has been spotted. Ploopy, you can see, he knew he had time to set down that ward there, and it was a smart move on his part, but because he spots out the Gragas. Oh, maybe he didn't. Maybe Sergeant Pepper was actually able to sneak behind him. It looks like that might be the case. He throws down the ultimate right away. Ploopy does get the bounce. Sergeant Pepper misreads it though, does not get the body slam, and is not able to come out on top of the kill up there. That would have been the second one. It would have been nice to shut down that top laner, especially in this matchup. Gnar, he's considered to be one of the better top lane laners, you could say. He just survives in that lane a little bit better. His harassment is really nice. He's got a ranged auto attack, which is great. Some sustain to his name. If you can shut him down, especially against somebody like a Hecarim can kind of jump on him as he did earlier and get those kills fairly easily. Especially with an Ignite Telly Hecarim, as we're seeing here from FDS top. Definitely one of the more consistently picked summoner spell combinations for a top lane Hecarim recently, since the changes to the challenging smite. Not too many objectives available for either team quite yet, you guys. The dragon is still down. Both teams is kind of going to be looking. It's really up to the junglers at this point. When you have a game that's going like this, where one team might get an early a dragon, and there's a little bit of downtime at about the 13 to 14 to in between like 13 and 17 minutes, where they're Baron's not up. Both junglers aren't really strong enough yet to really encroach on the enemy junglers too hard. Maybe steal some wraiths or a red buff if they're lucky or something like that. This is when it really comes down to the junglers to make an impact on this map. This is the junglers' time, you guys. This is when those players are the ones who are going to be the most impactful on the map, while all the other members of the team are kind of just laning around. Plus, how teams handle these situations, these 13 to 17 minute situations with no real objectives available. This is how teams handle that. Shows a lot about them as shows a lot about their skill. And it can show whether or not they're a truly high class team or just another team that is just playing the game. If you know what I mean. There's an ulti from BGZ. He just wants to force these members out. He's shoving in this bottom lane. He knows that his jungler is around. Now the dragon isn't coming up quite yet, you guys. Dragon should be coming up in just over a minute here, if I'm not mistaken. Nice steal there from Grey Fox. You can see how easily the Cho'Gath can take those things. Now, in terms of this 13 to 17 minute spike, you could say a power spike, or whoever has the most power, I would actually give it over to, so 2 minutes now on the dragon, you guys, I would actually give it over to Vayvictus here, because they do have that nice tanky Cho'Gath. That's one thing about Cho'Gath as well that makes him really good, is that he gets tanky really early. With his ultimate, if he can just play safe, get a bunch of stacks on that thing, get really big, he can get really tanky really early, and not only does he bring the damage because he's building the damaging items, but he also gets a good bit of tankiness that he can bring to a team fight, one of those mid-game team fights as well. Nice ultimate there, Masuna. In a tough situation. I'm not sure why he didn't follow up with an auto attack there. That's a little bit surprising. All he does is positive ignite as well as his ultimate just to force Masuna away, and he used his flash there as well. He did not, luckily enough. He got the knock up and was enabled to aggress from there. Dragon up in 1 minute, you guys. We're really going to start seeing some stuff. Andy actually ends up taking damage from that Q, even though he spell shielded it out. Veggie also gets headbutt back underneath the tower, but it's only a 2 versus 2 now as Melody's jungler has shown up. Lightning King gets a nice kick on Unsung Support. That's 2 flashes forced away from Veggie. FDS top actually goes in onto the Alistair. I'm not sure what he thinks he's going to find. He's taking tower hit after tower hit, and he's simply forced to back off. That's the second teleport down bot that, even though it came earlier, it isn't necessarily working out for him. Sergeant Pepper finally makes his way back down, but there isn't really much here to be had. And Victus, they tried, man. They wanted something, but they weren't quite able to find it. And also, you guys, keep this in mind. Surprisingly enough, Victus are up in gold now. Even though they're down in with the Dragon, they have those 2 kills, as well as nice CS leads across the board. 125 to 88 in the top lane, 153 to 99 in the mid lane. Junglers are very even right now. 124 to 108 in the bot lane. I mean, they just have CS leads across the board, you guys, and it isn't going to show right now. It isn't going to show instantaneously because these mid-game fights are really all about positioning, and numbers, you could say. If you can start a 4 versus 5, then you're in a really good spot. If you can start a 5 versus 3, then you're in a really good spot, or a 2 versus 1. You know, it's all about things like that because it's just about who has more spells available. Because this is going to be when you're hitting those level 9 power spikes where you get the 5th rank in your most important spell. But later on, once we exceed that 30-minute mark, that's when these CS advantages are really going to come into play, and that's when Team Victus are really going to shine, man. So you can see the wardage here, you guys. Dragon is live. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of wards in the bottom side river. I'll go ahead and show you guys in our split screen here. You can see a little bit better. Lots of wards down there. Both teams focus, you guys, with the Dragon. I mean, that's the name of the game right now, you guys, is the Dragons, man. We've already got 1 to Melody of the Wild, dance his name, but Victus, they've got a lot of pressure going on across this map, man. A lot of leads, a lot of really slight leads that enable them to kind of pressure the enemy team away and kind of make aggressive plays. But when it comes down to it, when we see this Dragon fight, as long as Melody of the Wild Dance are able to position themselves well, they will definitely be able to contest it. Uh-oh, that's a nice transformation timing there. FDF top was able to get away with it, though. Top lane matchups. I mean, I don't even know why we show them, man. It goes so slow. So you can see, also check out Gragas, man, on your minimap. Check out his positioning, where he's going to be placing his wards, things like that, you know, because that's really what makes the difference. Your junglers have to be around that Dragon, even if you want to contest. If they're not there, you can also see that Lee Sin is kind of down on this bottom side as well. Let's do a little bit of scan here. And you can see Victus, man, they are really preparing themselves. They were able to get this little bit of coverage here, get this little bit of vision, you could say. Gray Fox knows he has the step up on Masuna, so if Masuna face checks this, it's going to be an easy kill for him, most likely. For Masuna is going to end up getting taken down, and we're also seeing a team fight here in the river, rather. Unsung Support and BGZ both aggressed up here without the mid laner, as she was actually trying to transition down. Gray Fox got the jump on her, took her out first, forced the numbers advantage, and from that is easy cleanup here for Team Victus. We'll go back and watch this one again, but they guys got 3 kills for none, and they should be able to take this Dragon very easily. No teleport for Ploopy either, so, I mean, neither does Hecarim, but no teleport for either of the top laners meant they were not going to be there. So that one started off as a 3 versus 4 because Gray Fox was able to get that nice jump, you guys. So let's watch that team fight again from the River's viewpoint. You can see that both of these members are moving forward. BGZ just kind of follows them up. They're looking to start a pincer here on a Sergeant Pepper and Unsung Support, but they can't get it. It's a 3 versus 3 at this moment, but Masuna ended up getting taken down so quickly that they walked themselves right into a 4 versus 3. You can see Lightning King, he ends up running away like right as soon as he sees it happening. Now, I do believe he does get away here, but the remaining members of his team are not quite so lucky. Well played by Victus. And it should be an easy Dragon take for them. A team fight victory and a Dragon, you guys. Well played. A bit of a misplay there from Masuna as well. I mean, after Cho'Gath had gone MIA, he knew his team was going to start making a split, so he figured Cho'Gath had gone down there to protect him, but he was still just waiting right there. Really good patience from Gray Fox to just, you know, sit in that brush, try to get the jump, and try to create that numbers advantage right away. I mean, he really took pretty much no damage, and he was able to 100 to 0 that Orianna really quickly, man. Really nice. And he also had his Ignite up, which is very good for him as well. So that's a Dragon take, you guys, in Team Victus' favor. Jezzy Coming right back down to the bottom lane. I'm not sure how much he's going to find here. Walks himself right into a Thresh Hook. BGZ dashes away after he gets exhausted, and now it's going to be a 4 versus 2 here, as we are seeing a little transition. This might be a tower dive, you guys. Unsung support, a nice dodge on his part, but the Wombo combo drops. Lightning Kyle, he does get the kill onto Unsung support, and BGZ left under here by himself. Does he have the ultimate? He does not. The wave clear there is minimal, but we also have Gragas on the bottom side to try and protect. The 2 versus 3, the 2 versus 4 here, and you can't really dive the Gragas, especially with the Orianna ultimate down, but it was a good play from Masuna and Lightning Kyle. Lightning King, rather. And as they're going to keep 3 in that bottom side, they're going to try to push down this tower here, but Gragas is sticking around. He's looking for something. Now 19 minutes in. Look at this. Grey Fox is everywhere, you guys. Sneaking his way into everything he possibly can. This Cho'Gath is rolling right now, you guys. He's able to just walk his way under there. I'm not sure what his pathing was. I kind of want to see what his pathing was. Let's rewind this one a little bit. I'll go right back in. So it looks like he did end up going... I want to see what his pathing was. Did he walk through that ward? He did, you guys. He walked right through that ward on his way up there into the top side. That's Cho'Gath, you guys. Check out the mini-map. Let me see if I can find him here. He should be... There we go, right there. I'm using an Xbox controller, so I have to remember the buttons. But yeah, so he ends up just walking his way right in through that ward. Floopy making a bad decision to not, you know, wasn't watching the mini-map or something like that. Who knows? Who knows, man? Now, once again, I mean, we're still kind of in that stage, you guys. It's 20 minutes and Baron is live, so but you know nobody's really going to take this Baron this early. So if we look at the itemization, you guys, and we can check out the gold values as well. We have 6K, 5.3. If we could just compare each champion, I mean, Hecarim right now worth over 1,000 gold more than, and we're only 20 minutes in, you guys, worth over 1,000 more gold individually than the Gnar is at this point. Only one more kill to his name. Here's a skirmish on the bottom side, you guys. Jezzy walked right into Unsung support and Sergeant Pepper. He has the crowd control. He needs to get away from there. He pops his ultimate as well, but I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to find from that. Just simply had to pop that to save his own skin. Save his own hide, if you will. Oh, here's a potential kill. Nice flash play. He doesn't get Asian Andy back in, but he does end up hooking Asian Andy right after. BGZ picks up the first kill. There's a counter here. So many members of Melody of the Wild Dance are here to save their teammates. BGZ, Sergeant Pepper, and FDF's top all arrive at the right time. They pick up another kill. Orianna goes down. There goes the jungler as well. BGZ somehow surviving through all of this. And Grey Fox, now he's here as well. Bloopy is able to pick one up at least. But now they're making the dive, and Bloopy will end up getting taken down here. FDF's top, he's tanking up the tower as well, and he's doing a good job at it. And Ace, as a matter of fact, 5 kills in the bottom side, you guys, in favor of Team Vayvictus, and that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a real big one, those 22-minute aces, man. Now, unfortunately, there's no dragon for them to steal, but they do get a nice swift ace here. Let's go ahead and rewind this one and see how this fight ended up going. So we had a nice little flash hook from Unsung support. He ends up dropping fairly quickly here, but only after he got his own kill. Lightning King used his smite there just to get him, so I don't even think he expected all these members of Vayvictus to get here so quickly. BGZ is taking so much aggro, you guys, and he just gets right back into the thick of things, still somehow able to survive. Lightning King X also looking for him. He does snag a good bit of damage, but the heal comes out, saves BGZ just in time. He's still surviving. Lightning King unable to get these kills, ends up getting taken down by BGZ. Ploopy's back in, but right now it's a 4 versus 2, you guys. Jezzy, Ploopy, Jezzy and Ploopy are not quite able to clean it up there. Lucian does end up going down as Ploopy kind of boops right at the top of his head. Grey Fox gets dropped. Luden's Echo Cho'Gath, you guys. That's kind of crazy. And Ploopy should end up going down here as well. So well played by Vayvictus, able to snag themselves an ace. Just barely an ace because Asian Andy was like just respawning. They're going to snag themselves, kind of shoving these towers, you guys. Really not very many towers taking this game so far. We're already 22 minutes in, and only the mid lane tower being dropped in Vayvictus' favor. But right now, they have so much control, you guys. Just check out the wardage. Now, this is where that line of scrimmage that I was mentioning earlier is going to come into play. This is the line of scrimmage right now. If you take a look at your minimap, you can see that you have wards here, and this is all in red team's jungler. You actually have encroaching players in the red team's jungler as well, and we're just going to kind of do our little scan here. That's a blue ward. You can also see him on your enlarged minimap as well. This is kind of the line of scrimmage here, at least on the top side. The line of scrimmage really encroaches into the enemy jungler. Now, at 22 minutes, you won't really see wards and the line of scrimmage moving up past like here or past that red buff, but they have it pushed all the way up to it, man, so their control right now is really nice. Uh-oh, Grey Fox on a killing spree. I missed that one. He ended up getting down Oriana. We can assume it's the same fashion as all the other kills were, and now as Jezzy and Asian Andy end up aggress the bottom side of Vayvictus as well. They got such a nice little lead here. They can just drop those enemy members, and BGZ now on a roll, you guys. Not quite on a killing spree if I'm not mistaken, but 6-2 and 4, man, on the Lucian. That's pretty sick numbers. Jetcracker says, back from camping, we're doing teams of 5. We are doing, this is the Draft Labs Rift Tournament Series, my man, the preseason. There's a surrender from Team Melody of the Wild Winds. I actually didn't expect the surrender, you guys. This is a tournament series here, so surrendering is definitely frowned upon, but these guys were a good ways down. I'm never a fan of surrendering, you guys, especially 23 minutes in. There's always comeback potential, you know, always comeback potential, but, you know, sometimes things are a little bit overbearing, you could say, so it was well played by Team Melody. They did a great job. They did get themselves a couple of early game advantages. They got themselves a couple of nice kills in the early phases, but I think the teamwork and the synergy and the coordination of Team Vayvictus ended up coming out on top. They were able to get that really nice play on the Dragon Pit, that great play on the bottom side. Bajeezy was just killing it this game, you guys, especially that team fight on the bottom side. Bajeezy's positioning was just fantastic. Saved the summoner spells, used the summoner spells at the perfect time. I don't know if you guys saw, but during that replay, Bajeezy ended up flashing really late, like right into the center of the team, just to make sure that he positioned himself in front of the Lee Sin instead of behind him. I don't think he wasn't trying to dodge anything at all. You know, he just positioned himself in front of the Lee Sin. It was a great play because it set him up to get the next kill and then even keep on. You know, and then he knew he had peel because the remaining members of his team were also in front of the Lee Sin. So he kind of got with the bigger group of allies with the more crowd control by flashing into him to ensure that if Lee Sin did get the jump onto him, which he did, by the way, he would have peel there waiting and available for him. It was cool, man. It was real cool. It was a fun game to watch, and congratulations to Sergeant Pepper and Team Vayvictus.